there's a few movements that humans make that we only make them for one thing. One is like if you're walking in the woods and you get a spider web, or you're walking down some stairs in your basement, you get a spider web on your face. This, right? That's the only time you're gonna do that. Okay, and then the other one is this movement. Do you all know what that is? You're in the bathtub and there's too much hot water. You're trying to cool it down, you know? And then you switch to this. And then the other one is, of course, everybody knows this, like, see a guy over by his house or something, and he's at the front door and he's got a stick in his hand and his shoe, right? And he's doing this. What's he doing? He's getting the crap off of his shoe. The other one that's similar to that is the guy that has the crap on his shoe and there's a curb right there and he's taking his foot and trying to, all you do is smash it back into the shoe, into the tread. That's not the correct approach. Now, you could just throw the shoes away, but you know, who's rich? You got to get them clean. Use the garden hose. That's another time that you're doing something. You know, why else would you be spraying the bottom of your shoe? You know what I'm saying? It's a fact. These are facts. Think about it. Think about it. Is this a zebra swallowtail? Is that what that is? It couldn't be, could it? That would be out of its range. Now I have pawpaw plants. This couldn't be. This would be hundreds of miles out of its range. And how would it know that pawpaw plants are here? Is that what that is? I'm gonna have to double check this. It sort of looks like it. I don't know, I could be wrong. I think the difference in the zebra swallowtail is that its wings would be more white. Right? I know that's kind of a rusty color. I think that's supposed to be red. It's cool looking though. It is not a zebra swallowtail, it can't be. I have so many pawpaw trees. This one really sprouted up this year too. This is 7 feet tall or something. It really grew quite a bit. It did. This one flowered, and I had like pawpaws that sometimes fruit trees will abort the fruit, and that's what this did. So did the one out front. They're not ready. You know, you can hand pollinate them, but it doesn't matter. So they're flowering. This one's flowering, that one's flowering. A few of them are flowering, so it's only a matter of time. This thing grew more than I've ever seen any of the pawpaws grow in 1 year. Several of them are doing real good. This is a Potomac, I think. And then over here, this is a Wabash, and it was doing real good, but one of the dogs screwed it up, and this branch broke here, and instead of like just taking the branch off, which I probably should have just done, I have it wired up with soldering wire. And the reason why I use soldering wire for that is that soldering wire, you know, solder will it will bend. It will bend. So if the plant grows, it's not going to screw up the plant. It won't like dig into the plant. I'll take this off after, I don't know, next fall, something like that. I'd always just clip it. It'd send energy to other parts of the plant if I just clipped it. I don't know. I have plenty of plants, so that's what I did with this one. This pawpaw's doing real good too. This is a Rappahannock, and you can tell Rappahannock by its like curved leaf. You sort of go more upright too. I have another one. This is doing real good. It might flower next year. It might. Here's another one that's clearly going to flower next year. I already see flower buds on it, so it's good to go. And I got it the same year that I got that. This is a tree that comes from Michigan. And I got them, they were seedlings, they were like real small. This one I mowed over. I didn't see anything. I just figured it was dead. And then one year I looked and I saw like a little pawpaw leaf and it started coming up again. That one back there got mowed over too. That one's doing great. And then I have another one from the same seedlings that I got out front. And they're all about similar size, except that one back there that got mowed over. That one's doing really good and is really moving skyward. So I have 3 sort of older trees that are going to flower, you know. And then I have some that are grafts that are going to flower too and already are flowering. So I would think next year I should get a crop. This is what I've been eating all week. They're delicious. The smell is great. These are really good. I was going to get some cream from the store and just slice some of them. Put them in the cream with a little brown sugar. They're fucking great. My other peach tree didn't do anything this year. This is the second year for this one. Real good, real good. Very happy with the quality of fruit, the taste. It's perfect. This peach tree didn't do shit. Now, this year I got like 1 flower. That was it. It didn't even flower. And what's that about? And the following year before that, I got 2 or 3 peaches that were gigantic. They were almost the size of like a softball, but there were only like a couple. So I don't know what's up with this tree. I think that it's a different kind for sure. You know, its leaves are sort of a different color. It's a peach tree, you know, but we'll give it another couple years. This tree I got at Home Depot, same time that I got that peach tree. Boy, the mosquitoes are really out, but this one, I'm eating these daily. I'm gonna barbecue some fish, and the fish that I'm using in particular, I used a salted fish, and they're all butterfly cut like this, and I had to soak these overnight to get the salt out. So they're ready, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna marinate them for about 5 hours, something like that, and then I'll put them on the grill in a fish basket and we'll grill them that way. Now you can see these, it's a butterfly cut. It's a small, this is not a freshwater fish, this is an ocean fish. I buy salted fish a lot of times because I'm in Beaver Dams and I can't get any good seafood. These in particular are from the Philippines. The Philippines, you can get a lot of salted fish. You just have to take the time to get the salt out of them. Strangely enough, I'm using fish from a Filipino company, and I'm also making a Filipino dish. And this is a variation of adobo. Adobo is generally, you make it with chicken or pork, but you can make it with fish. There's no reason why you can't. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna make it in the same, you know, Pyrex dish, the marinade, that I was leaching the salt out. It's not a great word, leach, when you're talking about food, but that's what you need to do. You need to get the salt out of the fish. They're very salty, and the one thing about this type of fish, they have a pungentness to them. I like it. I like it. You know, you're talking about slightly rotted meat. I like that. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of red hot sauce, chili sauce in. That's probably a little bit more than a tablespoon. I'm going to put some minced garlic in. I'm just going to use this kind because it's easier. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons. I like garlic. I'm going to throw some Worcestershire sauce in there. Put in, I don't know, 5 tablespoons. I'm going to put in some honey. This is buckwheat honey. Put in about, oh, I don't know, 1/4 cup, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm eyeballing it. Put in some apple cider vinegar. Put in about a quarter of a cup. A little bit more maybe. Now I'm going to put in some sesame oil. Put about a quarter of a cup. Then I'm going to add a little bit of water. Oh, did I put in soy? No, I have not put in soy yet. We're going to put some soy sauce in there. It's already salty, so I'm putting in 4 or 5 tablespoons maybe. Something like that. Then I'm going to add some water. So it's already salty. I want to cut it a little bit. So I'm going to add about a cup of water, something like that. Just get it kind of stirred up a little bit. Problem being the honey. So there's my marinade. Now I'm going to take it back inside, put it in the refrigerator for 4 or 5 hours, and then throw it on the grill. This friend of mine had an accident on July 4th. What happened was he fell down like 12 or 13 steps. I believe they were concrete. Real bad. Traumatic brain injury. He's doing better. He lived. But it's real weird. It's a weird situation. Right now, it's all about him being able to communicate. And he has this thing. This is weird. There's a part of your brain that controls like speech, communication. And he injured that. So, like if somebody's talking to him, he can hear sounds. He can hear sounds, but as the words are coming into his brain, they get scrambled, and it doesn't make sense to him. Now it gets even weirder, in that he can say words. The intellectual part of his brain is not affected, but the communication part is. So he can say words. You know, he's thinking stuff. I'm sure he's asking like, what's going on? How'd I get here? But as he thinks it and then he says it, it comes out as nonsense. Like they say that people with this, like they can say the words perfectly, but they're just like, it doesn't make sense. Like what the person is saying. You know, it can manifest itself a little bit different. Sometimes, if they don't have it too bad, it sounds like they might say a sentence or something and then have like a inappropriate word in there at some point. You know, who doesn't have that? So it's all about, will he be able to communicate at this point? Because right now he cannot. Nothing makes any sense to him, and he can't even ask a question. So it's really it's a problem. It is. It's a huge problem. You know. He also has amnesia. He doesn't remember anyone. Doesn't remember anybody in his family. So that's a problem too in itself. But not being able to even ask, you know. He can't ask who people are, and if people come in and say, I'm your sister or whatever, he can hear the words, but as they're coming in, they don't make sense to him as a language. What the fuck, you know? It could always be worse. I mean, It could always be worse. I mean, um, he could have broken his neck or something, you know. The thing of it is that to remove pressure, they took out a portion of the skull, which is very common. So that's going back in. They had to put some of it back together. Some of that goes back in. A lot of times that goes back in and people are able to communicate or they get better. And that's sort of what I'm hoping, and it sort of does make sense because the brain is in like that cradle. It'd be like anything, like, you know, it's like, it's gonna throw everything off if, you know, there's no skull right there. I don't know. We'll see. So this guy, I've known him for a long time. You know, very articulate too. So this is the dude that tells great stories, man. He's got the funniest stories. So to think that he might not be able to communicate, like it's like a deaf mute in a way. He you know, I guess he's sort of better off. He can hear things, you know, he can hear stuff, but he's not going to understand any language. So people that also have this, they're notoriously bad at reading, spelling, so that's sort of like not, that's not something that could be used to communicate. I don't know, it's sort of wait and see. But he is better, you know, he is better. He was out for over 2 weeks, you know, just in a coma. So he is better. He can stand up, you know. Well, I see pictures of him and he looks like he's sitting normal and stuff, like, you know, all his mannerisms, they all seem normal. Like that's the weird thing. Like I'm looking at him, I'm looking at his eyes and stuff, and it's like, he's there, but the communication, it's just like, what I'm told is like when his family's talking to him, he's just looking at him like, I don't understand like a thing you're saying. I don't know, it could be worse, right? Could be worse. What if that intellectual part of his brain wasn't there? He couldn't really think, you know? I'm not a real social person by any means, but to not be able to communicate ever would be a problem, you know? Sort of waiting to see if he can make art too. Makes great art, you know. We'll see. All we can do is wait. It sucks. It sucks. I think within the next week, that piece of bone goes back in. Then I would imagine another, you know, there'd be recovery time from that too. At least a couple weeks, and then maybe 2-3 weeks, his brain will be functioning better. It's common shit, brain injuries, you know. It is, it's common. A lot of people have them and you would never know. Okay, they're pretty much just right on the coals. Notice how I put them all like the same side up. You don't want it to vary. That way you can make sure that you can get the skin golden brown, because it's going to take less time. You know, you don't want to really screw the skin up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I have it the side down first, right? Put it back. That just looks delicious, seriously. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. What am I eating with this? Nothing. I'm just eating fish. I would eat them off the grill, but I think I'm going to plate these, put them on a plate. I have a real nice plate that has a rust stain on it. I'm going to use that. Look at that. Look at that bubbling goodness. Yum. Yeah, it's like a plate of bugs. I just ate one of the heads. Very, very tasty. Very tasty. Very good. Has a pungentness to it. It's from the Philippines, so maybe that's Fukushima. It's good. There's a lot of it underneath the face. It's real good. Very good. The eyeball, real good. The burnt part is great. The face, the eyeball. Oh my God. So good. This side, no bones really. Spine's right there. Next time, barbecue sauce. I am not shitting you. I put up these lights, they're solar, and I put up these lights, they're solar, and they have motion detectors on them, so it just seemed to make sense with all the Sasquatch activity that there is in this area. Fuck it. And then, and that's really the least of my worries. I'm more worried about the gray aliens. I mean, wouldn't you be? I mean, what the fuck? Those little fuckers, they want to hold you down and probe you. I don't want to be probed. I don't want the fucking gray alien taking away my manhood, treat me like a bitch. I don't want that done. I think they put you in something like a gyno table, You're strapped in. They don't care. No, thank you. Everybody's worried about the gray aliens, I think. They're the worst. They are little freaks. Putting stuff up your fucking... Not good. It's not good. I'm worried, I don't know. Maybe the lights will turn on. I'll see them coming, and I can run. I'll run from them. I'll run from the gray aliens. They'll never fucking catch me, They're small. Well, I'd have to run in my fucking Honda, but I don't run so good. I could shoot them. I don't want anything up my ass. That's for sure.